Hey kid, want to do crimes? Custom Hydra is coming out. Finally, it has ink mine and splatter color screen. And this has felt disappointing to a lot of people. I am less disappointed by it on behalf of the Hydras. I think that there is a valid argument that this will probably not be particularly highly used in competitive play, but I don't think that's because of the kit. I think that that is more a factor of the main weapon itself just being a little on the slower side and it being difficult to compete with things like the pencil or even things that have similar firepower with a lot fewer downsides like the ballpoint. The kit, though, isn't really bad for this. Ink Mine is something that Hydra has had before, and that worked pretty well for it. Ink Mine's not the strongest sub-weapon in general, but if there's a weapon that wants to use it, it is a weapon that doesn't want to be using its sub-weapon very much. Hydra is going to spend a lot of its time charging. Any Splatling, really, isn't going to be using its sub that much in combat relative to other main weapons. So, not a bad fit for it, because it can set it up ahead of time and then not have to worry about it anymore because the sub-weapon is already in place and in play. It's also a sub-weapon that helps protect you. If, for example, you are worried about being flanked on this side, you can just throw the ink mine down, and then when it goes off, you turn over here. Now you know that someone's coming. So that's really awesome for a backline weapon that's going to get flanked a lot. That's going to be a target of a lot of flanks. And finally, it's a weapon that's going to have to back up pretty often when it gets rushed down. And so you drop your ink mine, you get charge. They're already tapped a little bit by the ink mine. They've taken 45 damage. So you have to hit fewer shots. You don't need quite as much charge. It doesn't take as long to get the shots that you need to win that fight as you're backing away. We can see this also with the E-Leader. Plays very similar with the ink mines there. So not a bad sub-weapon, honestly, for it. Obviously, you know, there are other things that are really strong that it could have gotten, but it's not complaining too much about getting ink mine. The weapon still functions as such. Splatter color screen, obviously, you know, being able to use the splatter color screen in a competitive setting is a toss-up. Some opponents are not going to be able to tolerate the sensory overload from it, from whatever it is that causes problems for them. There are a lot of things about that special that can cause problems. So sometimes you're just not going to get to use it, but you still have the other kit, which is fine. And the splatter color screen, not only is it a fairly strong special right now, I'd say like mid to high tier, something in that range, but it synergizes really well with the Hydra. What the splatter color screen is tending to do right now is being used as a visual smokescreen so that people can approach that area that the screen is in front of without being seen for doing it. It lets your team rotate around so that the opponents don't know where they're going to be coming from and they get surprised. It also allows you to, for example, not really use as much cover as you walk forward, and it can potentially allow you to play very aggressively with this main weapon. A Hydra with charge that you can't see until it takes one step through is very dangerous. And so if you're ready with that, you could potentially set up some of your own plays in addition to coordinated plays for the team. So I don't know if this is going to be the more common of the two kits. That feels like a long shot, but it seems like something that is going to see use among Hydra players, the few of those that there are. And I don't think it's necessarily bad for the weapon. I think that of the things that would need to happen in order for Hydra to see play at a competitive level right now, I don't think the kit is really the part that's holding it back so much as it is other factors of the main weapon and the metagame. So as far as new kits go, this is not a bad one. This is definitely really solid. It's just, you know, in the tier list that I would put out of the new weapons compared to what we currently have in the game, I wouldn't put the kit very highly simply because of factors that are outside of the kit designer's control. So, I think that this is going to be a lot of fun for Hydra players, at least, you know, in lobbies where you feel comfortable using a splatter color screen. I think it's going to lead to some interesting experimentation for them. You know, people who play Hydra are going to keep playing Hydra. But as far as impact on the competitive metagame, I also wouldn't say that it's going to be super huge. The people who are currently playing it will keep playing it. I don't think it'll bring that many new players to the weapon kit that weren't already there before.